My name is WAHIGA MUTURI, and this is the third cohort application for the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund. I welcome you all. For those who wonder, the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund is a UK-aid funded program that targets the agricultural sector, the manufacturing sector, informal sector, and marginalized groups or geographies. The fund aims to increase or improve productive employment opportunities, and beyond offering grants, the fund also supports enterprises through technical assistance and the provision of resources aimed at growing enterprises in the targeted sectors. If you want to know more about this, if you need to know more about this because it's a good application, please go to our website, which is www.kcjf.org, or better yet, go to our social media if it makes it faster for you: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram for more information. The hashtag is #JobsFundLaunch, #KCJF, and #SMEs in Kenya. I welcome you again. My name is WAHIGA MUTURI, and I'll enjoy this session with you. Thank you.
This grant, it was always thought really to empower communities.
Through this grant, we get to test and pilot financing these young people that we curate from our platform who have already proven themselves to be capable young entrepreneurs. We'll reward them with this opportunity. And if it works out, it could completely transform who owns asset and elevate the level of asset ownership across the country and sub-Saharan Africa.
The grant would just go in capacity building, in equipment. Let's make sure that people understand that the acres of the farms, the aloe farms, they're all community owned.
Kenya has a vibrant business ecosystem and a youthful population that's prepared to hustle and innovate. This creates great opportunity for creating jobs and generating growth. However, the formal labour market is constrained and it's not creating enough jobs for all the youth that enter.
As a farmer, I feel it's very important for me at the moment working with Miyonga because I'm guaranteed of the market for my products, which is a plus, unlike many other farmers, older farmers, who just grow crops. Then you have to worry about the market when you have the produce, so you cannot be assured of your income in the end. So I feel confident and glad that Miyonga works with me.
We are trying to make sure that we do value addition at the farm gate level, and that is what we are calling our factory, the willing fruits. It means a factory that moves from farm gate level to farm gate level and processes the fruit at the farm gate level. So we are teaching the farmers. The second thing we're doing is teaching the farmer how to not just sell raw materials, but to process value-added products.
We're targeting about 2,000 fishermen across the lake. Right now we started small. We're starting with a few fishermen first, but as the project grows, definitely want to enroll as many fishermen into this program as possible.
We would really be focusing on doubling down on growth. Our big ambitious target is to onboard 13,000 customers over the next 2 years.
This programme is part of a much wider economic portfolio in Kenya. We work with the government and business groups on improving trade, on improving exports, on improving the business climate, and on trying to support Kenya to have really sustainable, functional cities.
Without further ado, that was a great presentation, and we begin with our great speakers for the day. YVONNE OTIENO, CEO of Miyonga Fresh Greens, is a multiple award-winning social entrepreneur with a background in development communications. Since their establishment in September 2014, the company has worked to improve the livelihoods of smallholder farmers in Kenya, most of whom are women, to produce high-quality food products for export to the European Union. Through her sheer determination, single-minded focus, and a strong foundation in her faith, and with the support of a great and beautiful family, YVONNE OTIENO has led Miyonga Fresh Greens into winning multiple awards, starting with the 2015 Sinapis Business Plan Competition at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit, in 2016, Gender in Innovation in Agriculture Award and 2017 Social Impact Award in Nairobi Innovation Week. Last but not least, the 2018 Top 50 Innovators in Africa at the Africa Innovation Summit. And if you think you've had enough of her, please let me continue because she has great things coming up. Her goal is to improve the food security in Africa through the reduction of food waste and empowering youth and women in agribusiness.
My name is YVONNE OTIENO. I'm the CEO of Miyonga Fresh Greens. Miyonga Fresh Greens is a company that works to help improve the lives of farmers by training them on growing the correct variety of crops, and then we try to get them certified and connect them to the right international markets. So that's what I tell people, that's what I do. But what I really am is just a farmer. Just like you, we began just as farmers who were growing crops and trying to send it for export. So I can tell you all about myself, but I know the one thing that everybody who wants to apply for the fund wants to hear is, how do I get the money? And this is often all entrepreneurs think about, where will the money come from? We have problems, we need money. And I always ask entrepreneurs, and I've done that about twice or thrice in 3 different forums with the youth and with women in business. And when I ask them, take a piece of paper, write down what are the 3 main problems you have as a business, and 100% results, there's always the answer, money. So after I ask that question, the next thing I ask them to do is to take a piece of paper, and where the person has actually written capital as the biggest challenge they have, I tell them to just cross it out and write me. I am the problem. Just cancel that out and write me. Because the one thing I can tell entrepreneurs is this: there is enough money in the world for whatever idea you have. The question is, are you ready for the money? Because if you do have a solution to a problem, I will tell you one thing for sure: there's no business person, there's no investor, there's no organization, there's no government that will not be willing to give you the funds to solve a problem that you have the solution to. So therein is why I tell people the problem is not the money, the problem is you. So I tell you, what's the first thing you need to do? Find out, what is your attitude? Is your attitude, I want to apply so I can win the money? If that's your attitude, just stop. Don't even apply, don't even bother. But if your attitude is, there is a problem and I have a solution and this is how I'm going to solve that problem, go ahead, start applying immediately. Just start writing it down, because that's what the world is looking for. The world is looking for solutions to problems right now. Currently, everybody's looking for a solution to, everybody knows the current problem everybody's facing, but look at Kenya. We're a blessed country, and this is why I say we need to start with the attitude. What do we have as a nation? We have so many good things. We have rich resources in terms of our land, our landscape, and most importantly, the best resource the Lord gave to Kenya is actually our people. The young people we have in this country. Kenya has numerous, I mean, there's so many young people, and most of them are jobless at the moment. So if you're sitting at home and thinking, I'm waiting for someone to solve a problem, that's why I go back to the problem. That is the problem, the attitude. But if you're sitting at home and thinking, wow, what can I do to solve some of the problems we have in Kenya? That's who this fund is looking for. And if you have not just been sitting and wondering, but you have at some point tried to do something, tried to come up with an idea, an innovation, something that's kept you sleepless for some time, and you're wondering, why don't we just try this? If we did this, it could happen. And your challenge is that, I know if we did this, we could actually solve a problem. I only just need partners to be able to solve this problem. Then that's who you're looking for. Why can I say this with confidence? Because that's who I am, and that's what I was at the beginning. I said before, we began as farmers, and my biggest problem was rejects. So rejects was the problem. When you go to the farm, you collect produce, and at the end of the day, you try and deliver it to the farm, but because you're talking about vegetables, you're talking about fruits, and some of them are not necessarily the best. You can't have all the crops growing, the same way, and it is rejected. I started to think, how can I solve this problem of having fruits rejected? Because when fruits are rejected, it's not just the fruits that it's rejected, it's the water that was used to grow the fruits, it's the opportunities through the income that the farmers would have earned to actually be able to educate their children, pay for their health, as well as improve their lives, that is lost. So I started to think through not just solving the problem of me being able to sell more, but solving the problem of the opportunities that are lost. And that is where innovation comes in. When you have a problem and you start to think, wow, how do I solve this? If you start your problem with money, you're not going to find a solution. But if you start a problem that looks beyond money and looks into the lives of other people, and I'm so grateful because that is what the KCJF Fund is all about. It's looking for people who have innovations, people who are willing to partner with others who can actually help solve the problem, and people who are looking to create opportunities for others, then that's who we are looking for. That's who the KCJF Fund through the UK Aid is actually looking for. And this was us 1 year ago. Again, if you have a solution to a problem, that is who we are looking for. So if you start by looking at what solution can I bring into the world, because each of us are already a solution to the world, is why we are here. It's just some of us have not discovered what solution we have to offer the world. So I'm here to tell you that as you are right now, the world is actually waiting for you to come up with a solution to a problem. Have you found that solution? If you have found that solution, Kenya is ready for you, Africa is ready for you, the world is ready for you, and the resources will be made available. So last year, I had all these problems, and those problems are mostly related to how do I solve the problem of the food waste that is happening in Kenya? How do I solve problems of the seasonality of fruits that are happening in Kenya? One season we have fruits, the next season we don't have fruits. When we have fruits, there are plenty of fruits, and the fruits are going to waste. How did we partner with KCJF for that? I needed equipment to be able to, one, process the fruits to help to reduce food waste, and that's where the partnership with KCJF came in. I needed to be able to train the farmers to actually do and grow the correct fruits. KCJF helped me to partner with farmers with that. And the third thing is we needed to do more than just fruits, because the world is looking for something that has more value than just raw materials. How do we process these fruits into something that has longer shelf life and higher value for the public that's consuming it? And that's where KCJF came in, because now we are able to do value addition, and not just for local consumption, but also for the international markets. So that's who we are as a company. And that's what I hope that everybody who wants to apply will be looking at. One, that your attitude begins on what solution can I bring to Kenya? Two, I have the solution. Have I written it down? Then the partners are available through people like KCJF and the funds. And the third thing is, I say it all again so many times, yes, you have all these wonderful ideas in this room. There's so many wonderful ideas in this room. Probably if you ever taken a shower, you had a good idea, like everybody else in the world. But the difference between who does it and who makes it is someone who actually goes for it. So who are you going to be? The one who has the idea and leaves it at the shower, the one who has the idea and takes the time to write it down and go for it? I encourage you to be just like the other applicants before you in the last 2 years. Write down your idea, apply, you will make a difference, and Kenya is waiting for you. Thank you.
Coming to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, we begin, or better yet, we continue with Mr. RONALD OSUMBA, who has 16 years experience in the private sector, public service and entrepreneurship, having held various leadership positions in ICT, finance, and government corporations. He is the founder and CEO of iGov Africa Limited, the team lead also at the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund. As the head of public sector at Oracle Corporation Kenya, senior manager for government relations at Safaricom Limited, he is also the chairman of the Youth Enterprise Development Fund. He has set up high-performance teams that have shaped policy decisions both at national and county government levels, while maintaining a private sector approach to socio-economic solutions. He is a Tutu Fellow, Aspen Institute graduate, and a Crans Montana Leader of Tomorrow, and serves as a trustee of Uzima University and vice chairman of the Uzima University Foundation. We bring you Mr. RONALD OSUMBA.
The Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund is a £5 million program funded by the UK Aid that is supposed to run for 4 years from 2019. The fund was established specifically to invest in businesses that are innovative and that have impact in creating jobs. The jobs that we are creating are supposed to improve the livelihoods of young people and women, but also focusing on marginalized communities. Since 2019, we've been able to make 2 calls for applications. The first call went out in 2019, what we call the Cohort 1. Those sets of businesses that have had fantastic impact. You know, when you think about people like Taka Solutions, Build Her, Savannah Circuit, and they're doing fantastic work. They have now just received the second round of funding, in the, which we call follow-on funding, at the tail end of 2020. In 2020, amidst the pandemic, we were also able to roll out our second call for applications, what we call the Cohort 2. And the Cohort 2 was an exciting bunch of businesses, because we tried to expand the diversity from the learnings that we picked from Cohort 1. Cohort 2 have also just received their first round of funding at the tail end of 2020. Each of these businesses gets access to up to £100,000 in the first round of funding, and up to another £100,000 in the second round of funding. We are excited because these businesses are having not just innovative disruption to the market, but they're also having an impact on creating jobs and enriching livelihoods. We are looking at a potential of 9,000 direct jobs by the end of this program, and an additional 35,000 jobs, indirect jobs, by the end of this program. We have had a lot of learnings in the last 2 years. Some of them, it is something that we can be able to do about as a program. Some of them need systemic shifts with support from government. Some of them need more innovation and more aggressive approaches to market. Some of the learnings are, from the pool of applications that we have received in the last 2 years, are that, this notion that we have that the agricultural sector has massive potential for jobs is being challenged, because we are not seeing that traction, probably being caused by introduction of innovation into that particular space. We've also learned that a lot of the businesses that are applying for the funds are male-led. And so we are building capacity of women-led enterprises. Some of our best performing SMEs that we are supporting are actually women-led. We are also challenging the notion that foreign-led businesses can perform better than indigenous-led businesses. So we're building the capacity of local business people in how they pitch, in how they build their business models, so that they can be able to access not just our funds, but can also be able to compete for the funds that we keep seeing coming into the continent to support local businesses. We are looking ahead to Cohort 3 now. The launch for applications is on now. And we are looking at expanding the diversity of the kind of businesses that we attract, both geographically, but also demographically. So we want to reach out to as many businesses as possible. In the last cohort, we were able to attract businesses far and wide. One of the finalists and winners of £100,000 was the Value Villages, which is from Turkana. And so we are excited that we have reached a space where we can attract strong businesses with potential for creating jobs from the remotest corners of the country. We'll also be looking at the demographics of the owners of the businesses. So we want to encourage women-led businesses to come out and apply, but we also want to support by building the technical capacity of local-led businesses to be able to have strong pitches, have strong business models that can be able to be bankable. So the call is out. We welcome each and every one. We ask that the word spreads. If you know a business person who's making impact in the community, but also creating jobs through their businesses, please ask them to apply. Thank you, and all the best to all those who will be applying.
Last but not least, we have NOREEN NTHIGA. She spearheads the programs and operations activities within the SME Advisory Unit at the Office of the President, bringing on board her effective management and organization development skills that span over 12 years. She bears an executive master's degree in organizational development, an undergraduate degree in International Relations and Marketing from USIU Africa. Without further ado, I introduce Ms. NOREEN NTHIGA.
It is an honor to be before you today. My name is NOREEN NTHIGA, the Director of Programs and Operations at the SME Advisory Unit, which is housed in the Executive Office of the President. The Presidency has been very deliberate in how it executes its mandate under the Big Four agenda. Such came about the solution to have a SME Advisory Unit that is dedicated to listening to what the SMEs have to say on the ground and to be able to interact with them in their trading places. Our way of operations is somewhat unorthodox, whereby even as we move around the trading places, which is their markets or their shops or the areas in which they conduct their day-to-day businesses, we are able to understand what it is that the SMEs are undergoing, see them also in their real element, and from there we are able to curate reports and advisories which are able to guide the government on how it is that it acts. The way we also operate is through partnerships, whereby we rely on partners such as the British High Commission to be able to come up with solutions which could be driven towards finding better solutions for the SMEs. We then advise the government also on how it is that it can operate better, because we have different agencies which have been dedicated to serving the SMEs. For example, we have the MCCARREN, which is also known as the Micro Small Enterprise Authority, which is dedicated towards supporting and elevating these SMEs. We would like to thank the UK government for its deliberate and intentional efforts towards supporting the youth and for creating jobs for the same Kenyan youth. It is now my honor and privilege to welcome the Deputy High Commissioner, UK to Kenya, Mr. Julius Scott. Karibu sana.
It is a real privilege to launch the third and final round of competition under the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund. The first two rounds have supported 10 amazing entrepreneurs in Kenya. So for example, Savannah Circuit in West Pokot, they've produced solar-powered chillers that sit on the back of a boda or a tuk-tuk, and they go around to milk farmers and they collect the milk, they help with quality assurance, they reduce the spoilage, they increase the incomes, and they generate jobs. And that's all done with the support of a mobile phone. Another example, Taka Taka Solutions. So they're creating jobs in the recycling sector, and what they've done is they've pivoted in COVID, so they're helping to reduce the medical waste and deal with the medical waste in this tricky time. To date, the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund has provided 200 million Kenya shillings to these 10 entrepreneurs. We've provided an additional 60 million shillings to respond to COVID, and the program is on track to achieve its job creation objectives. It's creating thousands of jobs directly and tens of thousands of jobs indirectly here in Kenya. So we all know that Kenya has a vibrant, innovative business ecosystem and a very youthful population. What we're trying to do is to help business and to help government to create jobs, because you have so many young people who are coming onto the employment market each year. The UK is proud to work with our partners in Kenya to reduce the barriers to business and to support these individual firms to create jobs. Our aim is to invest in these firms, to provide that advice, that specific advice they need to create jobs, and to provide an inspiration to others who can follow in their footsteps. So this is a call to entrepreneurs across Kenya. Please look at the website, read the guidelines, and submit your application. Applications for the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund Cohort 3 are now officially open.
To apply for the KCJF grant, log on to kcjf.org/apply from your browser. Fill out your information by completing a short registration form. Verify your account by clicking on the link sent to your email. You can also check your spam if the link doesn't appear in your primary inbox. Click on Start New Application to apply for the grant online, and once completed, hit Submit to send your application. Applications will be processed on a rolling basis, and you will receive an email to confirm we have received your application.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. My name is WAHIGA MUTURI, and this is the third cohort application for KCJF. Better yet, in full, is Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund. Please, if you need more information on this, go to our website, which is www.kcjf.org, or you could go to our social media, which is actually listed down below: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram. Today I have a lovely host, a lovely panelist, pardon me. I have a lovely panelist of 4 individuals, leading with our only leading lady on this panel. I am thankful to say. I would like to start with Miss YVONNE OTIENO, CEO and co-founder of Miyonga Fresh Greens. We've talked about them, we've heard about them, we believe in them, and we know they are special. This is the reason. Miyonga Fresh Greens are a processing and exporting company for fresh, dried, and powdered fruits and vegetables, working closely with smallholder farmers who are certified, trained, and contracted to supply their farm produce. Is that true, ma'am?
That's absolutely true.
Oh, great.
Said.
Great to have you on set. I'm happy
you.
to have a lovely lady next to me.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful feeling among 4 men.
Thank you.
You know?
It's good to have 4 men that hold women up. That's why I'm here.
And she said it. That's the word for the day. So we move on to the next gentleman, which is Mr. James Ambani, the co-founder of Value Villages Food and Leather. Just to say a bit more on that, Value Villages Food and Leather, a fish processing plant aiming to upscale fish waste that realizes the full potential of the blue economy to the benefit of local communities and the fishing industry in Turkana. Am I right about that, sir?
That's right.
Brilliant. Any comments to add on that? You know, maybe I missed something on the blue economy.
You're on spot.
Good. Great. I'll go to the next gentleman, which is Mr. William MCCARREN, CEO of Zumi. Zumi is a digital business in the apparel value chain that connects apparel wholesalers and retailers in a transparent, affordable marketplace. They're also empowering women retailers to scale in the informal sector, right?
Correct. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. At least I said that right. Moving on swiftly, we go to Mr. David Ogiga. I actually like that second name. It's the full perfection of what you do.
Oh, good.
And I like that.
I love it too.
Great. Mr. David Ogiga, head of projects 10 Senses Africa, right?
Yeah.
Which is a social enterprise working directly with nearly 30,000 smallholder farmers to produce and export organic and fair trade macadamia and cashew nuts in Kenya.
That's correct.
Am I right about that?
Yes, you're right about that.
Is there any other country you're working in apart from Kenya?
Yes, we got some farmers, outgrowers in Rwanda.
Okay.
It's a new one, as well as Tanzania.
So it's a good time to say you're working now in East Africa.
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a good time actually to get into your experiences with the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund, and you are the grantees both for Cohort 1 and Cohort 2, right? Brilliant. So I would like just to ask, and maybe I would start with James, if that's okay. How exactly for you and your business, how exactly are you solving unemployment in Kenya?
Okay, first of all, we work in a very interesting geographical area in Turkana, where most of the population, really there's a lot of challenge when it comes to education, access to jobs, even accessing the area is a problem. So working together with the fishermen there and setting up a factory there, we're able to directly employ people who work in the factory, and we also are able to employ more youth, especially those who are going out to sea to fish. Because due to the logistical challenges, some of the fishermen don't even go out to sea when there's no ready market for their product. So just by being there has opened up a lot of businesses, especially for the fishermen, and also, the traders around the area.
And so, this is in Turkana?
This is in Turkana,
northern Kenya?
Yes, it is northern Kenya. Actually, we are located somewhere between central and north Turkana.
So from one edible to another edible. Please tell us about how exactly is your organization solving unemployment in your industry?
Thank you very much. Our organization is solving unemployment in our industry by going to the farthest part of the country. We work in Taita Taveta. We work in Taita Taveta. We're going to Makueni as well as Tana River. Now, these that are actually very productive when it comes to farming. Taita Taveta has the best bananas throughout the year, and Tana River has the best mangoes. However, due to the distance of where the fruits are, sometimes you don't get to have the fruits reach the local areas or reach Nairobi on time. So there's a lot of waste that actually happens at the fruits at the farm gate level. So our solution was to try and have factories within the farm gate level, because what most farmers were doing is just production of the raw materials. But we know that where the real value is when you do some value addition to the products, then you can get more value. So fruits that farmers would have left in the farm and have gone to waste, we try to process it and turn it into dried fruits and fruit powder. And we create employment, which is your question, by actually employing the communities around there. The first thing we do is that we train the women, we train the people around the community on how to do the drying. Okay. So that's how we create employment. We select a few from the community, and this is usually in recommendation together with the communities that we are working with, the leaders of the farmers groups. We do a selection and then train them on how to do the drying, which means they now get jobs, they get to be employed, they learn a skill they didn't have, and now they're able to sell something that has more added value than just the raw materials that they were selling.
Going on to the other question that a lot of our audience have, and thank you very much for joining us again. Please remember to go to our social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. So you'll find the links just below. Please remember to just join us and continue with this conversation even as we talk about our grantees. And coming to that, our grantees, you are actually grantees of different cohorts, and many people are watching this just wondering, so, okay, I could apply. How's the process like from application to even getting the funding? And maybe I would like to start with you, William. How has it been for you, the process of the whole Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund, from application to actually getting funded?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I think for us, it was a challenge to get through, to be honest. I think when we looked at all of the applications, I think there was thousands and thousands and thousands of applicants who applied, and we were very, very blessed to have even got through to the finalists. But really it's just telling a story about what you do, why you do it, and what is the impact that you have on the communities that you serve. And I think the biggest thing, or the main takeaway for us, is like, how do we actually craft that storyline and craft that narrative into a way that just anyone can understand. I think as founders or CEOs of any business, sometimes you have the ability to get so focused and you assume everyone understands your business, when others, of course, have never heard about it before. So for us, I think just like really working on understanding the storyline and the pitch, and of course then telling a compelling, or trying to tell a compelling story about what difference, if you do win the grant, what impact that would have on the lives of the people that you serve and the communities that you're operating in.
Amazing. For you, David, how meaningful was the application process? Maybe they asked questions that didn't matter. Did they matter to you? Did they matter to your organization? Did it make your organization any better?
The process, I think, was good. We probably may not be the best examples. I remember we applied 2 days to the deadline, so that's not a good advice for whoever is coming to apply. Yeah, but I thought that I think it was detailed enough. We went through the first phase, second phase, due diligence, eventually top 10, and then we had a pitch, a live pitch, and so we didn't know we'll make it, but we did, yes. But I found I think it was very friendly, and it was very detailed. I think what just to support also what William has said is you need to focus again on what are the impact you are going to create. So if you are applying for it, I mean, your business, the story, and so it's upon you to really to bring out that story to the panel for you to be able to to make it, and then I think also to look at what is innovative about this kind of idea you are proposing. And because for us, I think we did blockchain, which was something new totally. and it was a need in the company. It was needed to go to the next level. And so I think those are very fundamental, really, not just to apply, but really what kind of solution are you offering?
So can you say it helped your organization pivot or scale?
Absolutely, it was the next level.
Interesting. And just as a reminder, as David has told you, please don't apply 2 days to the date. Go to our website, www.kcjf.org, or again, you can also go to our social media. You'll get the information there: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. The links are below this video. Great. Yvonne, for you, the team, I actually want to know the team, the KCJF team, the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund team. I mean, you've by now had a lot of experience with them. Do you think they're awesome?
If I say that,
I mean,
let me say for sure, they are very thorough. They are very thorough, and they're very supportive. If you approach them with an attitude of they're here to support you, then it changes how you do things, especially when you're going through the due diligence process. He talked about it being tedious. When you have 90 documents to fill and all of them are back from human resources, operations and all that, it's quite a lot. But they're actually there to support you. Even when it comes to setting your milestones, they will ask you, they will question you, and I will connect that to what William was talking about. What it helps you do is to have like direction, and the word I'll use is that you have more clarity in terms of focus, so that you know what to prioritize and you're not trying, because as entrepreneurs, I mean, you all have brilliant ideas and you think you can do everything all at once, but they like show you, okay, come on, calm down. You have the money already, wait. Now just do one step at a time. So it gives you focus. So the whole team, if you're asking, they're almost like an extension of, you know, like your organization, in the sense that they're there to make sure you succeed. They're not there to actually make sure you fail so that they take the money away from you. No, they're very supportive.
I think everyone who applies for this has an idea. It's good. And it's about how confident are you. You know, if we give you this money, I assure you'll be able to deliver what you say. And that's what you're being asked for during that pitch. So I think, you know, applicants should just apply for this grant, have the confidence, have your idea well laid out, look at all the pros and cons, and go for it.
But actually, just listening to you, you're saying it's not all about the funding. If I could be wrong, but you're saying it's not all about the funding. Even if you don't get the fund,
yes,
your business will improve.
Exactly, exactly. That's very true. Because if you go through this process and you see the questions that are being asked for you to answer, you'll even ask yourself as an entrepreneur, am I doing this right? You know, why would somebody ask?
And that's the bigger picture.
And that's, yes.
Okay.
So it's also a good way to you know, gauge yourself, evaluate your business, and see what you're doing wrong, or how you can make it better.
Brilliant. This is the third cohort application. So please remember to apply at www.kcjf.org. I want to move on to you, sir. And just on the same, what tips and advice do you have for other entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think not much different. But just besides the points already raised is there are always info sessions, which I think will also be available this time around. So if you're interested, I think those are opportunities to get clarifications in case of points or ideas, maybe something that the approach, how better to succeed. I think to register for those webinars, or if they are live sessions, hopefully, then attend those sessions. I think that's the one.
Brilliant. Tips and tricks?
I think that for me, the advice I always come back to is just focusing on growth. I have pitched for a number of things in the lifetime of my business, and I often get confused if, you know, you get a negative response from an investor or for a grant or whatever it is, and sometimes they'll say, oh, you don't have enough customers, or you don't have enough this, or your technology isn't developed well enough yet. And I think a lot of that can be confusing, and I just think, like, for any early stage business or any early stage entrepreneur, just really focusing on growth and getting as much possible traction that you can on your business to prove to anyone, especially the KCGF guys who are looking through many different applications. I think just having traction on your business and proof points is going to set you apart from the crowd. And the other thing that I'd say is really taking time to look at what's actually important for this grant. You know, there's a number of different grants that people can apply for, and every grant has their own sort of core competencies or things that they're looking for, and obviously for this one it's primarily sort of like job creation, and how are you impacting the communities that you're serving, and just making sure that you're not copy and pasting your pitch, and you're making sure it's like really like what is the storyline of our business and how does it fit with this particular category that we're attending to.
Oh, brilliant. And thank you to your viewers for just watching this at this day. This is the KCIF third cohort application edition, and actually maybe I should call it the social distance edition. I think we are a bit far from each other, but thank you so much for watching this, and thank you to my panelists. You guys have been amazing and awesome. I am very honored to have met you also, and quite intrigued by how the process was for you. It's given myself, and I am sure very many other people, just a good point and lesson in how to approach this. So without further ado, I remind you that we have the third cohort application for the Kenya Catalytic Jobs Fund going on, and it's open. So guys, please remember, not 2 days to, but exactly right now, please go to www.kcjf.org and apply for this. I mean, it's not just about the money, it's even about, are you actually doing the right work, right? I've repeated that. I've paraphrased that as best as I could. And please remember to go to our social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. The handles are below. Please consider commenting, talking to us. The team is awaiting and ready to hear from you and guide you. I mean, where do you apply? And you're guided through the application. So please remember, you'll be guided through this, and it's for you, it's for your business, it's for the people that you're doing impact with. So www.kcjf.org. My name is WAHIGA MUTURI, and it's been an honor hosting all of you and our viewers. It's been an honor hosting all of you. See you again. KCIF is coming to a town near you. Thank you.